The train screeched against the rails, sparks flying as it cut through the misty dawn. Inside carriage number 7, silence hung so heavy it felt suffocating. And in that silence stood a tall figure, unmistakable even in the dim light. Donald J. Trump. Not in a motorcade. Not in a private jet. Not behind a wall of Secret Service agents. But on a regular train. And before him stood an ordinary passenger, fists clenched, chest heaving with rage, ready to fight. How could the most powerful man in the world end up face to face with a common traveler in a crowded carriage? What words, what storm, would erupt here, not just shaking the train, but stirring every soul inside? This is not just a story of conflict. It is about power, humility, courage, and the unexpected lessons found in the unlikeliest places. Trump had chosen this journey himself. His team had begged him not to do it. But he wanted to feel the true pulse of the people, without filters, without the media spotlight, without the polished speeches. Just a man among men. Gazing at his reflection in the train's grimy window, he muttered, "Sometimes, to hear the real music of the world, you have to step down from the stage." Around him, passengers whispered. Some stared with hostility, others with disbelief. For a while, no one dared approach. But then, from the far end of the carriage, a weary-eyed man in a wrinkled shirt stood up. "Mr. Trump," he said loudly, his voice cutting through the silence. "Do you even know what it's like to be one of us? To live paycheck to paycheck? To be ignored? To be told we don't matter?" The air grew thick. Cameras clicked. Phones recorded. And suddenly, this train became an arena. Trump straightened his tie, pride stiffening his posture. "I know more than you think," he replied steadily. "I've built, I've fought, I've failed, I've risen. I've faced losses you couldn't imagine." The man stepped closer, his hands trembling with anger. "You've never had to choose between rent and food. You've never stayed awake all night wondering if your kids would go hungry. You walk on golden floors while we sweep broken ones." Passengers leaned in, breathless. Trump's voice softened, almost reflective. "You're right. I've never felt hunger like yours. But don't think pain avoids me. Loneliness doesn't skip the powerful. Pain doesn't choose by bank account." The man's jaw tightened. "Easy for you to say. You've never been invisible." Trump looked him in the eye, his voice trembling. "Do you know what it's like to have a million people watching and still feel unseen? To stand alone in a crowd?" The man faltered, his fury clashing with curiosity. The train rocked on, as if echoing their words. Just as the tension reached its peak, an old woman spoke. Her hair was silver, her clothes plain, but her voice carried power. "Both of you, stop," she said firmly. "One person's pain doesn't erase another's. Don't you see? Pain is universal. Whether in a palace or a broken home, the heart bleeds the same." The entire carriage went still. Phones lowered. She continued, "This world teaches us to divide, to blame. But true strength comes when we listen, when we rise together." Her eyes softened. "If you are hearing this, remember, your power to change your life lies within you. Don't let anger or despair be your chains. Rise. Fight for your dream. And never, ever give up." The words carried like fire through the carriage. And in moments like these, dear reader, life whispers, this is your wake-up call. If you're listening now, I ask you, not just for me, but for yourself, subscribe. Because this journey is not just about stories. It's about reminding each other that hope, courage, and unity still live. Join this community of dreamers and fighters. Stay. Grow. Rise. The man's fists loosened. Tears, buried for years, welled up and fell. I just wanted someone to hear me. Trump stepped closer, not as a politician, not as a businessman, but as a man. He placed his hand on the passenger's shoulder. I hear you. And maybe I don't have all the answers. But today, I've learned something from you. Their eyes locked, not as enemies, but as two souls carrying different weights of the same world. The old woman smiled, her words still glowing in the air. And just like that, the fight dissolved, not into fists, but into understanding. When the train reached the station, something remarkable happened. No one rushed to leave. Strangers embraced. Conversations sparked. A spirit of unity lingered. The man who had challenged Trump walked away lighter, his children waiting on the platform. Trump, too, stepped off quietly, humbled, changed, blending into the crowd for once. As the train pulled away, the old woman whispered, "Every journey is a chance to meet yourself in another's eyes. Life is not about power. It is not about titles. It is not about how high you rise or how loudly you speak. Life is about connection. Life is about listening. Life is about the courage to stand, the humility to learn, and the strength to rise again when the world pushes you down." This story began with conflict on a train. But it ends with a reminder: every fight, inside or outside, is not meant to destroy us, but to shape us into who we are meant to be. So, if this story touched you, don't let it fade. Take a moment, like, comment, share your thoughts. Because your voice matters. Your journey matters. And together, we can build a world where no one feels unseen. And most importantly, subscribe. Not just to a channel, but to a movement of hope, courage, and unstoppable spirit. Because the world is still waiting for your story.